I always just thought, you know, you should never let lack of money get in the way of an idea or, you know, something like that. And then obviously when I was a kid I'd seen Jaws. I thought, why can't we do a big shark? But I just immediately thought it's got to be big enough to eat you, and then in a volume of liquid that would be big enough to frighten you. Because the fear of you know, I remember walking through Richard Serra at the Saatchi Gallery and just thinking halfway through, God, this could fall on me and kill me. And sort of having being physically frightened of a sculpture. You know, the fear of these sharks is an unreasonable fear, but it's a good way to kind of tap into that fear of death, which is probably a reasonable fear. And large volumes of water are quite frightening anyway in their own right.
What did you think when you finally saw it? Was it the effect you wanted to achieve?
Yeah, it was like it's like the Jaws music. It seems smaller to me now.
Really?
It's weird. Yeah, nasty piece.
Yeah.
There was just a desire to make art that was more real and about something important. You know, I kept thinking, I loved minimal art, but I kept thinking it's not about anything, and it sort of, you know, kept frustrating me. So in a way, the cabinets worked like a box to protect things. So I took that a bit further and just, you know, I just thought I'm gonna own this space or something, you know. And to, you know, in a way, it was to, you know, you wanted to pull people in, but then keep them out at the same time.
Yeah. So the flies that are buzzing around in 1,000 years, here you harness them and they adhere to the canvas. It's like a tradition of the monochrome, a black painting.
From a distance, you just think it's a black monochrome. It looks like tar or paint or something.
Yeah.
And then really, it's not until you get to about here that you realise it's flies. And when you're that close and you realise it's flies, it's pretty scary.
So in and out of love.
If you can see people as flies, you can see them as butterflies as well. So I thought I've got to go the other way, like I was saying, where you kind of say, well, butterflies are beautiful as well. But then it's not beautiful if you look closely, because it's not beautiful for the insects. It's getting trapped in the paint.
Yeah, so there is that horror that they're actually.
Yeah, so I remember when I painted the edges of them in there, trying to make them look like they'd struggled and flapped about and just got stuck.
And then the live room, the live butterflies. I mean, when I first saw that, thinking, what is he doing? Creating this environment with butterflies flying around and actually hatching out of canvases.
I still don't know what I was doing. Originally, I bred butterflies in my bedroom at the time, so I was like, you know, hatching them all out, and I tried to learn all about it. Yeah, I mean, I think when we started redoing it, I was a bit worried, because I thought maybe I'd, you know, because you know, you kind of romanticize things from the past. And I haven't seen it for so long, I thought maybe it was just like walking around stepping on butterflies and it was all an illusion and it never really works and didn't look good, but it's great to see it back together with the butterflies flying around and happy.
Yeah. So the acquired inability to escape, was that the first work that you made using cigarettes?
Yeah, I think it probably was.
And then afterwards came the rows of stubbed out.
Yeah, I got asked in an interview recently where they said to me, you said in an interview, because I don't smoke anymore, they said you once said you don't trust people who don't smoke.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I did in an interview, yeah. And they said, what do you say now? And I said, I don't trust people who do. Do you still smoke?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd love you, really. You know, with the pharmacy installation, I wanted to get a pharmacy and put it into an art gallery, but one way you actually think you are in a pharmacy. And then, you know, just to not even confuse you, it just makes you question everything. And when I originally showed it when people went into the gallery, they kind of came in and then thought they were in their pharmacy, so they got back in the elevator, and everybody got stuck in the elevators and kept coming in and saying, "Where's the art?"
Because it was in the gallery on...
Yeah, but I love art that does
floor.
that. I love art that kind of confused you or made you not sure, or you didn't know where the art was, but in a humorous way rather than a kind of heavy way,
Yeah.
Well, after I'd done pharmacy, I was kind of hijacking everything from all walks
Scientific
of scientific
environment.
world, yeah.
So you moved from that white coated wooden cabinet that you used in the medicine cabinets and then in pharmacy into these more really polished stainless steel, clinical looking.
It's clinical, but they have that fear again as well. The same sort of fear you get in the shark, I think you get from these. 'Cause it's like,
Well, the instruments.
we're all afraid of surgical instruments.
But why do we feel kind of comforted by medicine, and yet surgery makes us terrified in that they're both supposed to help cure you?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's a kind of invasive procedure, isn't it,
Exactly.
surgery?
Mother and child divided, but that was the first piece where you cut the animals in half. So you see the internal organs as well as the hide or the skin.
But I love that inside-outside, where you get to see the inside and the outside. So it's whole, but it's dead.
And were you consciously alluding to Christianity when you talked about the title as being My Mother and Child?
Christianity, I don't know about. It's like
subconsciously.
Well, I mean, I was brought up as a Catholic till I was 12, so it's like all that stuff goes in there. But it's quite difficult, I think. I wasn't directly, but I love stories from anywhere. I wanted to sort of play with the viewer. So if somebody says to me, "Is that religious?" I'd be saying, "Well, what do you think?"
Yeah. Okay.
Belief's a great thing to play with.
Well, you suggest a range of belief systems like science.
Yeah, I mean, I think
art.
I did this series of prints called New Religion, which were very scientific, and I think science is a new religion, really.
Yeah.
I found an old Victorian tea tray, which had the base of it under glass. They'd kind of, somebody in Victorian times had put butterflies in it, and it just looked great. And I thought, wow, if you did those big, they're like kaleidoscopes, and kaleidoscopes are amazing anyway.
Yeah.
So. And then when we started looking like stained glass windows, I did this one, which is like the first one called Doorways to the Kingdom of Heaven, where I did them actually like stained glass windows. I remember reading that somewhere in an article, and they were saying that flagellation is one of the doorways to the Kingdom of Heaven, or prayer is another one, and there were like all these things. Yeah, so very religious. I think I've become a religious artist, haven't I? Although I deny it all the time.
But when you use this title, The Incomplete Truth, what were you suggesting?
I mean, I've always loved those statements. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Yeah.
And I think when you attach that to religion, it has a lot of resonance.
But the symbol of the dove is like, it's both a secular symbol of peace.
Yeah, well, you look at it, it looks like a dove flying in the sky, but it's actually a dove trapped in liquid. So it's like it has hope, but it doesn't have hope. But art can give us hope, I think, but religion can't.
But you like all these works that say one thing and then deny it at the same time.
What up, internet? This your boy Hennessy Youngman, and as you know, internet, the boy Damien Hirst is gonna be exhibiting his spot paintings at all the Gagosian galleries worldwide simultaneously, like some perfect storm of banality. And you know, internet, from the beginning of Art Thoughts, a lot of viewers, a lot of people was always like, Hennessy, you know, you should make an Art Thoughts about Damien Hirst. And my reply has always been, fuck no, I don't care about Damien Hirst. You know what I'm saying? Artwork don't really bother with me. You know, I don't have any issue with the fact that, you know, most of the work, all the work is fabricated and that his studio assistants make it, you know, because that's how a lot of artists make work. You know, I understand that as an artist, if you actually touch your own artwork, the value of said artwork is severely depreciated. That's just how the market works nowadays. And real talk, internet, I really thought that Mr. Hirst's work was the highlight of the movie The Cell with Jennifer Lopez. You know what I'm saying?
That's not him.
What?
That's not his.
Huh?
That's not his work.
That's not his shit? That wasn't him?
No.
Oh. So yeah, I don't really have issue with Homeboy's work. I mean, I just don't really care, you know? It is what it is. But internet, I do, however, have issue with Damien Hirst's PR photos. You know, how he chooses to present himself to the world really does annoy me. It's like every photo Damien Hirst is in, he has to pose like a complete fucking asshole. I mean, just look at this shit, man. Ooh, intense. Ooh, even more intense. Shark face. Hi, I'm Damien. Drugs? Drugs? I don't care, Go-Go. I made it. I can lick it if I want. I don't know why an adult artist would want to depict himself in such a puerile shithead manner. I mean, it could honestly just be drugs. The only man to ooze this level of IROC-Z, Axe body spray level of douchery is the nigga Bono, the humanitarian. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at this. Ooh, look at me. Oh, that's terrible. The two of them even got the same glasses on, internet. I mean, come on. Don't the British got a word for this? It's twat, right? That's the word, right? I wonder, twat, right? I wonder if Damien Hirst and Bono were friends. Oh. Maybe because Damien Hirst was classified as a YBA, he has an affinity toward Britpop and actually thinks he's a member of Oasis. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at this album cover. He could be any one of these niggas in this flat right here. He could be the one right on the floor. He likes laying down. But I should calm down, internet. All my gibberish is irrelevant anyway because a man could pose however he likes to pose in a photo when he's rich enough to say this.
As an artist, you always make work from what's around you, and you know, money was around me. And then I thought, well, what could I do while this money is here that I wouldn't be able to do?
I'm gonna play that for you one more time.
As an artist, you always make work from what's around you, and you know, money was around me.
Yes, internet, he just said that money is his medium.
I mean, I don't think there are answers. I think there are only questions, and I think it's, you know, for viewers to decide what the answers are.